So I think this should be working now. I'm going to check YouTube. I think it's going to take a minute. Oh, there we go. Okay, so everything is on a time delay, so you can't see any of this yet, but I'm about to stick all the links up on all my sites, and we'll see who joins us today for office hours with me. You can see my little chat man is here. He's joining us today. All right, so bear with me. I'm going to play a little MJ while I get this all set up. All right, here we go. Yeah, here we go. Being a color. When I saw you kicking dirt in my eye, it don't matter if you're black or white. Black or white. All right. Now, here's my real question. Michael Jackson says chameau a lot. For a while, I thought it was Jumbo. After I got back from Africa, I thought he was saying Jumbo, and I got really excited because that means hello in Swahili. He's not saying that. If anyone out there knows what he's saying, chameau, shamu, shamon, shaman, I don't know. I'm not sure. So if any of you have the answers to that question, I would be very excited to know. Oh, planet Earth. I can't. Skip. Nah. Human nature. Smooth criminal. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. So as you join me in the next 10 minutes, I will be rocking out to some Michael Jackson for a while. And then I'm going to take any questions that you want to take. I'll give my whole spiel at 6 about what this is about, but there are lots of ways that you can tweet at me or talk to me. You can tweet at me at Kathryn, Kathryn Lumpkin on Twitter, or you can go into this little chat section that's kind of in the bottom of your screen. I think it's over here. Might be over here. I don't know. One of those, and we will... I'll be looking at your questions and try to answer them in that time. But until then, just keep hanging out. Let's listen to some Michael Jackson, and we're going to make some stank faces. Yeah, that's what's happening right now. Also, are we noticing my fabulous mug? This was a Target purchase over Christmas. We were pretty excited about it. All right, I'm so intrigued to see who joins me tonight. I'm sure it's going to be my mom and my sister. No, she's teaching. My mom and like 4 friends from high school, and that's probably it. And I'm pretty excited about that, if that's the truth, because in all honesty, y'all are my people. Y'all are my tribe. So, I mean, not to secretly hope there's more, just so that I can be useful to people. But if not, we'll just have a great chat, or you can just watch my sweet face and my little cat for the rest of the next hour. We've got 2 people watching. I don't know who that is. Make yourself known. Oh, 3 people are watching now. Hey, friends. So if you just signed on, we're listening to some Michael Jackson for the next 8 minutes until we have more of a group joining us today. Oh, I think one of you is Monica. Hey, friend. So we're just having a little bit of dance party, drinking some coffee, thinking about things until 6 o'clock. We're going to get started at 6 o'clock pronto. But truthfully, if you're here, if you're one of the 4 people, hey, 4 people watching tonight, if you have questions already, you can start typing them in the chat, or you can tweet them at me, and I can start kind of getting my head around some of the things you want to talk about today. No problem. Oh, hey, we're getting some Twitter love right now. Yeah. So anything that you guys are interested in chatting about, if you're here and you're with me, feel free to send stuff my way already. We're about 7 minutes out from starting, so you can keep me on and keep enjoying this Michael Jackson Love Fest. Can you hear it? Can you hear this, MJ? Because Annie is not okay. He was all like, Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? And she was like, no, dude, there are bloodstains on your carpet. I'm not okay. That's how I feel about that song. I was like, MJ, you know the answer to your questions. Why are you asking them? But it does make me give a good stank. Friends, it's been a wonderful day and a wonderful week. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Today is Sunday, but tomorrow we have a holiday, which is so wonderful. I hope you all are celebrating in a fun way. It's snowing here. I think it's still snowing, which is crazy because yesterday it was like 60 degrees. So now it's snowing. I went out to get a coffee. Actually, I had a coaching today. I went to a coffee shop and I went wearing no hat. I went wearing no scarf or no gloves. And then all of a sudden my coaching was done and I walked out and it was a wintry wonderland. And I was very grateful that I met my client 2 blocks from my house because otherwise it would have been very sad. Oh, we have 5 people here. Hi, friends. I'm so excited that you all are joining us by us I mean me and my cat Pumpkin for this little live stream right now. If you've just joined us, we're listening to some. Yes, this song makes me think of Center Stage. No, I was too early. There it comes. 1, 2, 3. No, I was caught in not knowing it. There it was. We're just listening to some MJ until we start in 5 minutes. 5 minutes of me just entertaining you until we start. But I've told people if you have questions already, you can put them in the chat or you can tweet them at me, and I will get them on the list of things to answer. If not, you're just going to get some of this. Remember how she was doing the 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, honey, and then she had her hair up and then it was all down? These are the questions that I have no answers for, so I hope you're not going to ask me that. I don't know how they did it. It was magic. The magic of bobby pins and Susan Stroman. That's all I know. Oh, I'm even wearing little ballet dancers on my shirt today. That's kind of fun. It's on a stage. So many tremendous performances in that film. just giving you all the dancing, all the time, all the things. Oh, 6 people. Hi, 6th friend. I'm so excited that you're here. We're just listening to some Michael Jackson. You've heard this little scoop before. We're just waiting another 4 minutes. Oh, good. Someone's decided it's time to vacuum upstairs. Welcome to New York, where you know your neighbor's business before you know your own. We're just hoping that stops soon. It might not. We might have some guests today. But then again, our apartments are tidy, so vacuuming should take all of 4 minutes, which is what we have until we start answering questions. No one has put any questions in this chat, which is fine because I can entertain you for an hour, believe me. I got things to talk about, but I'd much rather answer y'all's questions. Let me see what's going on the tweeties. When my fiance and I started dating, I did not understand Twitter. To be honest, I still don't really get Twitter. I like it now and I use it now, but I really didn't. And we would hang out with my good friend Chelsea, and she would always say, how's the tweeties? And so now we always say, show me the tweeties. So I'm going to check out the tweeties. Oh, my sweet friend Monica, who's wonderful and works for the Kennedy Center and is a just all-around genuinely badass, wonderful person, just retweeted about office hours. We're so grateful. Thank you for the Twitter retweet. But no questions are coming my way yet. Let's see. Love me forevermore. That man could sing all the things, friends, all the things. All right, if we don't have questions yet, I'm going to ask a question, and I want to see some responses in this chat. Did you all watch Center Stage and just have all the dreams and fantasies when you were younger? I just knew when I saw Center Stage with my father and my sister, you're welcome, I just knew after that I was going to be a famous ballerina and that I was going to dance for ABT and that Peter Gallagher was going to tell me that I had bad feet and the wrong type of body. And I used to, like prance around the house pretending I was ballerina to the point where I was taking dance classes, but I went to the Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS sidewalk sale and bought a pair of pointe shoes that had been signed by the cast of Phantom of the Opera, and I used to put them on my feet. These were like used toe shoes, okay, that I should not have been putting on my feet. I used to put them on my feet and dance around in the basement of my house before I had any pointe training, any of this. And it was, oh, hey, thanks, Michael. So my sweet friend and my first boss in the casting world, Michael Casera, just retweeted some love my way. It was pretty sweet of him. We're really grateful. Yes, but I almost broke my ankles teaching myself how to dance points to the center stage film without any training. It was very stupid, but kind of fabulous and really just my nerdy truth. Let's just be really honest, my absolutely nerdy truth. No, none of you also watched Center Stage like me and dreamed the dream of Peter Gallagher telling you that you didn't have the feet. No, that was what's her name. She says, you didn't have the feet. I don't have the heart. Just all the good things. All the good things. All right, we're 1 minute out from starting to take your questions, friends. If you have them, I'd be really grateful. If not, I'm just going to keep talking about anything I want. And believe me, I can talk and talk and talk until the cows come home. Look at this little cat. He's sleeping. He's been sleeping all day. Cats are so lazy. I am convinced that if I get fortunate enough to come back in this next year life, I hope that I get to be a cat. I think I've earned it. They just get to eat little treats and sleep all day and be cozy and warm and hairy. And that just sounds delightful to me. I would be delighted to get to come back as a little cat. Anybody else? Anybody else out there want to be a cat? No? You don't want to be ballerinas or ballerinos, and you don't want to be cats. What do you want to be? All right. Friends, it is 6 o'clock. All right, so welcome to Office Hours with Kate Lumpkin. Kate Lumpkin is me. If you don't know who I am, hi, lovelies. It is so nice to meet you. So Office Hours is a new thing that I'm starting. I'm going to be doing it every Sunday from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, come rain or come shine, come a full house or not. The less number of people, the more questions you get to ask. So, hey, that's kind of great. I am here to answer any of your questions that you have about the entertainment industry. First things first, just remember everything in this business is subjective. I can only answer questions from my opinions and from my experiences. So nothing I say is written in stone. Nothing I say is truthful across the board. People have lots of different opinions, lots of different views on actors and the process and all of that kind of stuff, and you all know that. So I am going to take the time to answer questions to the best of my ability. I am not an expert on anything. I have not claimed that I am, but I am here. I have been working in this industry for a long time. I have a lot of good friends who work in this industry and a lot of peers who have as well. I'm here, I'm free, and I'm a touchstone. I want to help you in any way I can. If there's a question that I have no idea how to answer, I'm going to be sure to write it down and talk to someone that is a peer or a friend or a colleague who I think maybe can answer the question, and then next week I'll come back and be sure to answer your question first thing off the bat. My specialties clearly are, if you don't know who I am, I was an actor for a long time. I went to school for theater, for drama and musical theater, and then I went back to school and studied anthropology and folklore, the art of storytelling. And now I work in casting as well as in private coaching and personal branding. So currently I'm working at Fox, helping with pilot season this year. Woo, crazy. We're doing all the shows. As well as I do a lot of private coaching on personal branding, personal styling, figuring out what it is that's your point of view in this industry and how to best utilize yourself, your instruments, and your talents to be successful. So that's what I do. I do a lot of private coaching one-on-ones, and I do a lot of casting. I also work for Celebrity Cruises. I am their coordinator in New York City, and so I help with all of those. I've worked in theatrical casting, and now I work mostly in film and TV. So you can ask me questions about anything. There's no question that's too stupid. There are no stupid questions. what I want to provide here is the opportunity for anyone who has a question that they'd be too scared, honestly, to ask someone else, to be able to ask it pretty anonymously, here. And you can do that by writing something in this chat box down. You can see it on the other side. You can do that. Or you can tweet questions at me. My handle is at Kathryn, Kathryn, Lumpkin. And you can tweet those questions at me. Right now it looks like I have no questions, which is great because I can talk about this industry for hours. But I'm going to talk a little bit. You feel free to chime in if you have a thought. It doesn't have to be a question. You can just chat at me. You can say, hey, girl. You can say, hey, Kate, it's nice to see you. Anything to let me know that you're here. It looks like there are 8 of you, which is awesome. I wish I knew 9 of you. I wish I knew who you were, but you don't have to tell me at all. Just give me a question. So I just want to talk today and this past weekend. I've had several coaching sessions with some really amazing clients, just really, really wonderful people. Oh, look. There's some stuff. Oh, you have a question. Great. I am looking, let's see. Sorry, friends, you have to bear with me. This is great. How do I see this whole thing? Christina, I see that you've written a question here, but I can't see the whole question, which is really tricky. This is my first time using Google Livestream, so you'll have to forgive me if there's an issue. It will get better over time. It looks like I can see on the dashboard that you've written a question, and it just says, hello, beautiful question here, ... Christina, did you finish that question, and I'm not seeing it, or have you not written the whole thing? Let's see. Oh, no. Oh, no. Is it still streaming? Did I ruin it? There we go. There I am. I'm so sorry, friends. Oh, it's because you hit enter too soon. It's coming. Great. Okay, wonderful. Sorry. I'm so sorry that things are going in and out. Great. So I'm going to wait for Christina's question. The only thing I wanted to say before I answer her question, and I'm so sorry if anything messed up there with the streaming, actually, if someone is watching and everything is fixed and fine, will you just send me a little message in that chat that says everything is great? I'd be really appreciative. So what I want to say about my clients is I had some really great client interactions this weekend, and one of the people that I was working with is trying to figure out what they want to do in this industry, and they looked at me and they said that they were, oh, good. Hey, thanks for telling me it's all good. I really appreciate it. They were talking about how they felt like they were 2 different people, how they were an artist and then they were also another thing. My cat is getting up. How they were an artist and another thing. And they kept talking about these separate lives that they were leading. And I sat down with this person and I reminded them that you don't have to be 2 different things. You can be an artist, an actor, and be something else. And maybe there's a way to fuse those 2 things together in a really positive way that makes your point of view much more unique. So that's just something that we were talking about, and just something to remember when things get rough. If you have multiple gifts, the best way to live this life is to find a way to fuse them together and utilize those. Oh, looks like Christina's question's gone through. It says, so I was wondering what the real perspective is from casting with actors without representation. Is it still possible to be seen? Is it looked down on? What's the best way to get on the radar? On the Darth Raider. On the radar. Real talk. All right. So here's the deal. Clearly, if you have an agent, it's typically going to be much easier to get an appointment, right? We know this. It's if you have an agent, that means that someone is willing to stick their neck out for you. That's really what an agent represents. And that means that it's going to be easier to get your foot in the door because those people have relationships with casting directors and associates and assistants and down the line. And when we trust those voices because they have been given that responsibility, they've earned that responsibility, they want to represent you. That means that we trust that you have a talent that you can bring to the table, right? That's just kind of the truth. That doesn't mean that people without representation are not talented or that they don't deserve to be in that room. It's just kind of how that piece works. When you say, is it still possible to be seen? Yeah, I mean, it's still possible to be seen. In my personal experience in film and television, it's a lot more difficult to be seen. Most of the people without representation who get seen have some sort of relationship with someone in the casting piece of that film or TV project. So like, for example, if you happen to take a class with someone at one-on-one, a casting director for a network, and that person really enjoyed you, and they, have your headshot and resume in the office, and you are actually very right for a specific role that they're having a hard time bringing people in for, that might be a way that you would get seen. In no way would you be looked down upon in that situation, right? Because that casting director is bringing you in for a reason. That is one way to definitely be seen without being looked down upon. And that's definitely a way to get on the radar. I mean, I know classes cost money, right? They're an investment. And some people don't want to make that investment. They feel like they're not getting anything out of it. They feel like they're not getting tips, or that they're not really being seen. They don't get a lot of one-on-one attention. And that can be true. It really varies on who's teaching the class. I will say that classes, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at the flip of the coin, are kind of the way that you get to meet people now. If you haven't had a showcase from your college or from whatever program you're studying in, pay to play, which is, kind of how those classes work, is a really great way to meet people and to potentially get into auditions if you don't have representation. So, those classes are taken seriously. What I would say, though, is since they are so expensive, take the time to know which casting directors you really think are doing work that you would fit in with, that you would be proud of, that you would be excited to work on, and really hone down your list to those people who will be useful to you and who you can be most useful to, right? And those classes are short, and you have very limited time to make a good impression. So if you're gonna do those classes and invest that money so that you can meet those CDs, so that you can potentially get those appointments without an agent, you need to come in and be ready, prepared. You need to have your specific point of view. You need to know what your brand is. You need to, have good headshots that you're proud of, have a good resume, be really, really, really ready to sell your business, which is you. And Christina, I know you're very good about making yourself a business. You're wonderful at personal branding. So, you in particular are kind of ready to go in that way, but those classes are really important. And that's just kind of the truth of the industry right now. And make yourself as useful as possible in those classes. Make yourself as specific as possible to what you are. And I think that will make you more useful and more memorable when CDs are trying to fill some of those spaces. And that's really film and television. In theater, it's somewhat the same. In certain projects that are not like Broadway projects, Actors Access and submitting yourself through those things can definitely get you appointments. I know when I was working with Celebrity, I still have a relationship with Celebrity, and I still help them cast. Pardon me. When I was making the appointments for them, a lot of people that we bring in are from Actors Access and from things because we want to find new, cool, interesting people. We're very specifically looking for like rock singers and people who do that kind of stuff. So, it just depends on the project and it depends on the office. And that's kind of the truth of this whole thing. I personally, and most of the people that I've worked with, definitely don't look down on anybody who doesn't have an agent. People are at different stages of their process in the gamut, right? That's kind of the truth of this is that there are different stages of a process. I will say, and I'm sure you know this, sorry, I'm just checking my tweets, that having an agent, of course, is going to open doors for you. best way to get on the radar. I think I answered that question for you in terms of getting on the radar. Classes really are the best way to get on the radar. I mean, the best way to get on the radar is to be in something that we can see, right? Lots of people get agents because they're in a project that gets them noticed, that then people will fight for them. Oh, good. I'm glad you think so. I would also say if you're not getting the appointments you want, if you are not, if you don't have representation, you can't figure out how to get representation. We live in a world where we're so fortunate to be able to create our own work. If you have an opinion, if you have a thought, if you have a funny idea, if you have anything, invest in a camera and create a way to show that to people. Truly, people are being noticed because of Instagram videos at this point. Whether that's good for the art form or not, it's the truth. People are getting noticed from YouTube videos. People, at some point you don't even have to be a YouTube star. You just have to have material for people to see. It's really important to have that. And hi, Matt Roden. Yay! Yes, Matt Roden, and creating your own work. You are the king of creating your own work and getting yourself seen. You are wonderful. Christina, another real way to get on the radar is to have materials to show people, especially if other people start to believe in your own work. It's a wonderful way to showcase yourself and to showcase the best parts of yourself. The truth is, from my personal opinion, so when I worked in the theater world as a casting assistant, I would sit a lot in, not a lot, but I sat several days in EPAs, and the things that were most impressive to me when someone would come into an EPA is when you immediately met someone and they were so completely aware of who they were and content within themselves and showed you that kind of energy and light. Those are the people that you want to work with, people that you want to hang out with. And I think when you create your own material, it's a great way to showcase those best parts of yourself to a big audience, right? Because you get to take the time to edit it how you want to edit it. You get to make the lighting look like what you want to make the lighting look like. You get to say it 1,000 times, until you get it right. So I think really taking the time to create your own work is awesome. And, I was saying hi to Matt. Hi, Matt. Matt has done tremendous things. Matt is a wonderful, wonderful actor. I think he's just the greatest. But he's also started doing all these videos for Playbill, interviewing people on red carpets, and showing off his incredible personality, which is just such a warm, funny energy. And that's a great way to show that you, can be a host, which is a tremendous gift in and of itself, but also just to showcase who you are. So that's the other thing I would say to get on the radar, is to create your own work. And also bonus, once you start creating your own work, you get to fill out a reel that maybe if you don't have the biggest reel, you can, fill that in with other stuff that you've created, which I think is really helpful. Because again, any way that you can get people to click on something and see what it is that you do, who you are, is just super helpful to us. Quick and dirty. Something we can click, something we can see, something that is really representative of you. And those things can get you noticed and are, again, super helpful. Let's see, was there anything else in that question? Are there any other questions out there? Christina's question was so detailed and so tremendously wonderful and helpful. I am seeing, let's see. Christina, did I answer your question? I just want to make sure I answered that to the fullest. Are there any other follow-ups with anything that I said that could be more helpful? One thing I will say, since I know I have you here, Christina makes wonderful websites. She is an actor who is all over her business. And she designs beautiful websites and is very helpful and very kind. So look her up if you're in the market for that kind of stuff. Which is, another great thing is we have lots of actors here who are watching, all 9 of you. But some of you that I know are here are really tremendous about creating your own businesses and understanding that not only are you actors, you are business people and entrepreneurs. And so I applaud you guys who are here and helpful. Let's see. No, we're not having any questions there. Great. So, let's see. Just need a coffee break. Sorry, friends. Great. Okay, so another thing that I can talk about, we have 45 more minutes, friends. And so I'm just going to sit here and chat, and you can feel free to join or not. We lost someone. Bye, whoever that was. Bye. Oh, Matt Roden. Great. Okay, so we got 2 questions now. Awesome. So Matt wants to know, I want to hear about your Instagram process from concept to execution. All right, great question. Yes. Okay, so social media is here to stay, guys. And I know some people are very against social media, and they're too, they're like, it's not part of my brand, it's not part of my art. Well, here's the thing. Social media is here to stay. It's important. Casting directors look at it. Agents look at it. Peers look at it. You never know who the next person who's going to write the next amazing show is. It's important, and being able to utilize it in a strong way can very much help your brand. It doesn't make you less of an actor. It doesn't make you less of anything. It just makes you a smart business person. So for those of you who don't know me, I also am a lifestyle blogger and have I enjoy Instagram as a business platform as well as a personal means of expression. And I think it's a wonderful tool to showcase who you are. So thank you for the shout out, Matt, about my Instagram process. So for me, I really had to sit down about 2 years ago and kind of figure out who I was as a person, what it is that I wanted to say, what my storytelling purpose was and point of view. And I realized that I want to be a professional fairy godmother. I like to make things, I like to come in at a moment of question and try to help other people find the beauty and the purpose of their life. So much of what I like to do is show the beauty and purpose of my life and the beauty of this world. And that's what I do through my Instagram and through the Hepburn Diaries, which is my blog. And so for me, in terms of the process from concept to execution, I will say Instagram is a business, right? And the main thing that I will say when you decide to use Instagram as a platform for yourself as an actor specifically is to really pick your aesthetic, to pick the parts of your life that are important to share. And it's about the story and the image. So one of the biggest kind of transitions for me was only posting photos that are taken with a real camera. It makes a big difference. It's cleaner, more professional. Those photos show they showcase the best version of myself and the best version of the world that I am trying to present and represent. That was a big thing. So for me, I advocate for a schedule. And one of the greatest things that I ever learned was from a woman named Hillary Rushford. She's incredible. She used to be an actor as well, and she now runs a personal styling company, and she empowers women through social media. One of the things that she promotes a lot and that I really believe in is those top 9 squares. So I'm just going to open my Instagram here. The top 9 squares on your Instagram should really represent, and this is her kind of verbiage, not mine, but should really represent kind of the magazine that you want your life to look like. Sorry, this is a terrible look, but the aesthetic of those top 9 squares should really look like the magazine that you want to promote. So when it comes to self-promotion as an actor or as a host or kind of a YouTube personality or whatever it is that you want to do within the entertainment industry, you really want to promote the things that represent the story that you want to tell about your life, right? It's important. So making a schedule of, maybe it's not all selfies. Maybe you really want to incorporate brands into your storytelling. That's one of the great things about Instagram and Twitter is that you have immediate access to bigger brands, bigger names, bigger things. By tagging brands, by hashtagging, you are connected with those other things. So for me, I like to do, one fashion photo, then one kind of home photo, then maybe another closer up fashion photo. There's a schedule and a rhyme to everything that I do. And I also really take the time to figure out what it is that I want to say. I decided that I didn't want to do kind of lengthy posts. Some people do. I try to do something short, succinct, that makes the photo pop a little bit. And for me, that's what works. That's what my followers like and what works for them. My sister is also she utilizes Instagram for her food styling that she does, and she's also a writer. So she writes kind of longer posts about what the food means to her, and that's how she tells her story and really creates her brand identity. So, concept to execution for me, it's a business. It's hard. People don't understand that Instagram and social media, if you really want to up your game and get a lot of followers and get noticed, it's a business. And so, yeah, Christina, I'm seeing your question. Don't worry, I'll get to it. So for me, since what I focus on is lifestyle and fashion, right? I have to plan the outfit. I have to figure out a time to do the photo shoot. I have to make sure, I'm lucky enough that my fiance takes my pictures. I have to make sure he's available to do it. I have to make sure that I have time to download those pictures to my computer, then send them to myself, then upload them, do all the things. And once they're uploaded and on, I have to know what hashtags I'm going to use to get attention to them, and I'm going to have to tag the brands that I'm wearing so that I get the cross-brand promotion. There's all of those things. So in order to make those happen, I really try to schedule out all of that in advance. And you can use things, my favorite app is Crowdfire. It's a wonderful app to help you add followers, drop followers quickly, figure out hashtags, upload photos. You can schedule photos to upload at prime times, and you can do the research to find what the prime times for your audience are. And having things, the most important thing I think you can do to utilize Instagram in particular, since that's what you asked about, is the little bio at the top has to have contact information for you in it. It has to have an email address. It should have your website, but I like to say it should specifically have a direct email address as well for business inquiries, because one of the hardest things in casting is finding people. I mean, it shouldn't be hard, guys. You should have a website. You should have contact information. But the easiest way to contact you if I see something that I like should be right there, and it should be available to the public. Also, again, I know you know this, Map, and anyone watching, if you want people to notice you and you want to use Instagram for branding, you have to have a public profile. That's just the truth, because we can't see your stuff if it's not public. So, Matt, I hope that answered your question. If you have any follow-ups, feel free to put it in the chat. I'm here and I'd love to answer them. Christina has asked an Instagram follow-up, when you get a chance, is it okay to not post things that happen that day or week? Basically, if it's not Insta. Well, I love that. Hey, Instagram, right then, instantly. Yeah, it's totally fine. I do this thing where I'll hold on to photos from photo shoots, and I'll have days where I just take pictures of all sorts of things around my house, and then I put all those photos on my phone. And anytime, especially now, right, like it's pilot season, I have no time to take pictures, to kind of enjoy anything. Or it's been fine now, but it's about to get crazy pants. So I stock up photos. I have a folder on my phone that's old photos that I've taken from old photo shoots, from, trips, from just like my house and images like that. And I have those that I can post so that I can post something every day. Because a huge thing about social media, just like auditions, just like everything in this industry, is you have to continue to do things on a daily basis, or at least have a schedule that you follow, right? So maybe you don't post something every day, but you post something every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, right? Like, as long as you continue to work and continue to do the things within the same aesthetic, from the same POV, no, it doesn't have to happen instantly. Guess what? Nobody really cares. No one knows what I actually wore today except my clients, and now you guys who are watching, all 8 of you. That's it. Those are the only people. So it doesn't matter if it's Insta at all for me. And I found, the thousands of people who follow me, but like, truly, those people, they don't care. They just want to see beautiful images. They want to be inspired by things. They want to see words that encourage them. They want to see a life that they are, inspired by, and that can be anything. My thing happens to be lifestyle and this industry and that kind of stuff. But if your passion other than acting is volunteering, then create a beautiful page that's all about volunteer work and how to create volunteer opportunities for yourself. If your thing is that you want to be a host, if you're doing hosting, that's cool stuff like Matt, take the time to make your Instagram about the things that you're doing, doing Insta videos from events that you hosted 3 weeks ago. No one cares if it's right in the moment. They want to see a good product. So, posting a 15-second clip from something you did 3 weeks ago is cool. Even if it was 3 years ago, do it on a, TBT, use that hashtag and get those people. So yeah, Christina, definitely it does not have to be right now. What I will say though is if you are using Instagram to be something that is a personal branding experience for you as an actor, if you're posting something from 3 years ago and you look nothing like that anymore, you need to be very clear in your little nugget underneath that is not you now. Because it would be a shame if someone found something that they were like, oh my God, she's the girl, right? Even if it's just me and I am trying to build a schedule for something and I'm looking through and I see you and I'm like, oh shoot, that is perfect. And then I were to call you in, let's say, and you didn't look like that, that would be really disappointing. So if you're going to use stuff from the past, make sure people know it's not what you currently look like, right? Just in terms of acting, that's just kind of a smart choice. But I know you have worked on a lot of TV shows and stuff. If you put up a clip of you from one of your shows from a while ago and wrote something like, just thinking about how fun it was to be on hashtag XYZ show, do it, girl. Do it. 100% do it. Anything that can get your art out there and show people what you do, I say that's great. What did you say, Matt? It's been about a month of me upping my Insta game. First step was photos only from a real camera, so I was happy to hear you reiterate that. Good. Yeah, absolutely. It just makes a difference, right? It's the difference between, when you see a beautiful, professionally done film and something that's made by an amateur. Both can be telling really interesting stories. Both are beautiful, but one you're willing to pay good money to see, and one maybe you're not. And it's you are creating. I tell everyone, Instagram is a digital magazine of your life. How lucky we are that we get to cultivate such amazing. I'm sorry, I just got a comment. How lucky we are to be able to cultivate the magazine of your life, the scrapbook of your life, instantly in the palm of your hand for free. So. Utilize it to the best of your ability and hi buddy, we've got a friend. Hi, are you needy? Okay. To the best of your ability and make it as beautiful as possible. And that doesn't mean you can't put pictures of you like being rugged and doing awesome things. Beauty is not about, airbrushing. It's certainly not. But you get the opportunity to make yourself look as great as you can, and that goes across all platforms. Okay, buddy, I gotta concentrate, and you're too distracting. That goes across all platforms, right? Your website also needs to be as professional and beautiful as possible. Your Twitter feed, just like you would never show a headshot, I hope, that was taken with an iPhone, right? It should be the same across all of your platforms. Mind blown, videos on Instagram. Heck yeah, videos on Instagram. Absolutely videos on Instagram. How fun. And you have tons of footage, you have tons of things, and if you don't, you can create it and make it and do all sorts of great things. Even if it's just silly videos of you dancing, that's fun. It shows who you are, it shows your personality. I think videos on Instagram are great. I've been focusing my energy on providing value in the form of entertainment or comedy and aesthetic to my audience, even if it's my own friends and family. I am with you. I think that creative people have such a great opportunity to provide the world to show the world with the lens with which they see the universe and see their art and see their world. And so, yeah, I'm with you. I think something as simple as Instagram is a great tool on showing. Oh, hold on. Sorry. Showing your aesthetic and showing entertainment and comedy. It's great. Interesting, Matt, Kate, when you upped the Instagram game, did you delete old photos or just move on? I deleted some photos for sure. Some things were just not what I really wanted to be showing. But if you go back in my Insta feed, 2 years ago, there's tons of stuff from, all sorts of things. And I didn't delete those. You can definitely see a process of me changing over, and I'm fine with that. That's kind of how life goes. Things change. If you want to start fresh and you want to start new and start something specific, I'm totally all about that. But I think, some days we just wake up and we decide it's time to change and it's time to make a bold move. And so it's cool if you can see that transition. I think that's pretty great. I'm interested in why you chose YouTube Live versus Facebook Live or Periscope. I chose YouTube Live because it records this and people can go back in time and watch what I said. Periscope to me is a wonderful tool and I really like it, and I might do that too. I might do that instead. But it moves so fast, and I really wanted to be able to take the time to see the chat and see what people are saying. And I like having everything archived, and Periscope doesn't archive anything. I don't think it archives it forever. Tell me if I'm wrong, Matt, because I honestly don't know. And this was just, I'm big fans of YouTube celebrities. I watch them a lot. I love John and Hank Green, and they do all of their stuff via YouTube Live. So that's why I did this, truth be told. But if you know something I don't know, I am the first person to say I love learning. So, please tell me if you would prefer that I did this on Facebook or Periscope. I am willing to change what service I'm using. Christina, you asked another question before the Insta thing. Let's see. One more question that I'd love to hear more about. You wrote combing art /pro? About combing art. I'm not really sure what that question is about, so if you want to write it again, I'd be grateful. Combing art? The art of combing my hair? Combing /pro. I'm gonna be really silly when you say this and it's so obvious. I'm gonna do a little combine. Great, good. I'm glad I don't have to Simpsons doy it here. Combining art and pro. Do you mean your professional life with your artist life? As separate entities, professional and artistic lives. Great. Combining those two things. Well, I was talking about it a little bit before when we were just getting started. I think people are given a lot of different gifts. People work hard to get a lot of different gifts, and acting is a tremendous profession. It is also a tremendously difficult profession, and you know this. Everyone watching knows that. It's one of those things. The old saying where everyone's like, "If there's anything else you can do, then do it." Well, I don't disagree with that, but at the same time, you got to fight for what you want. And if this is what you want, then you need to fight for it. But I do think there are ways to utilize some of the other skills that we all have to kind of up your game in that fight. So when I hear clients say things like, I am an artist and then I'm also this other thing, my first gut reaction is always, well, why can't you be both at the same time? Why do you think it's important? It's important to compartmentalize everything as an artist, when the truth of the matter is the best artists are so many things all at once. And you can do that professionally. I do think there are ways to utilize all the skills that you have to be a better professional artist. Now, I don't know if that means, your question is a little nonspecific, and it's, that is something that's very personal and something that I'd love to work with you on, Christina, specifically if you ever want to get together and have a session. But, people have different skill. People who are performers are also wonderful voice teachers, are also wonderful acting coaches and audition rep coaches. People who are wonderful performers who also have gifts in the technological world can be helpful at, videotaping auditions and editing auditions for other people. Creating business within the entertainment industry that can still make you money is also it's a really great thing. We see that a lot with web designers, things like you do, where you're helping other artists and you're making money doing that. And those things only enrich your relationships within the industry that can help you tremendously, and through meeting other peers, through meeting other creatives, through meeting other artists, and nurturing those relationships is a wonderful benefit of combining your professional and artistic lives within kind of the industry. I don't know if that's even close to answering your question. Again, that's always a very personal thing, how to combine your profession, your professional life outside of being an artist with being an artist. And that's something that I do a lot of private coaching on an individual level. So if that's something any of you guys ever want to work on, you can check me out at kate-lumpkin.com. Periscope isn't forever, but Facebook will save the video. I think you have a lot of artist Facebook friends that if they came across you talking about art and business, they might stop watching and engage. I agree with you. Maybe that's what we'll do next time, Matt. I think that's genius. I honestly didn't even think about Facebook Live when I was planning this. So maybe next week we try that. I'm game for anything. So next week, yeah, I'm going to learn this week. And next week we'll do office hours on Facebook Live, 6 o'clock on Sunday. Thanks, Matt Roden. You're the best. You're the best. Great. Well, Monica agrees with you. So if Monica agrees with you, then that's what we're doing. Great. Well, then, this was a perfect way to do it for the first time and learn, and we'll do it on Facebook. I think that's a really, really, really smart idea. What I am going to do, though, is put this live stream, this archive live stream on Facebook so people know what to expect next time. But you guys are the best. You guys are simply the best. I just love y'all so much. Oh, Monica's blowing me kisses. Hey. In terms of Instagram, since we were kind of on that topic again as well, one of the other tips that I think a lot of people don't really know in terms of how to engage an audience. This is something that I tell a lot of people in private coachings, and since you're here and you're the first ones, I'm going to give you this little tip for free. If you don't show people that you exist, why do you expect them to find you? And that's something that, of course, goes across the board in the entertainment industry. But in order to get followers, you have to find your people and let them know that you're there. And one of the ways to do that on Instagram is to find someone that you think is a similar aesthetic or doing something similar to you, and look at the people who are following them and go to that list and follow those people. When you follow someone or when someone follows you, 99% of the time, you're going to go look at who they are and see what they're about. And if you're interested, you'll follow them back. And if you're not, whatever. But they're there, right? Like, they exist now, and you didn't before. So why would you expect that someone's going to search out for you when you're not putting yourself out there? So one of the best ways to get followers is to go to the people that you like, people who are producing content that's similar to yours or in the same industry or whatever. So like I would go to another fashion blogger who I really respect and go to their list of followers and follow those people. Follow them right up. And guess what? You're going to start getting a lot of followers back, because there are some people who are just desperate for followers. There are some people who are going to engage with what it is that you're creating. And there are some people who are, doing like a follow for follow experience. That's how you're going to build your audience. And after 2 days, a lot of those people that didn't follow you back, you can get rid of. If it's not something that you actually want to engage with, if it's not something that is, worth putting in your cultivated list of other artists for inspiration or whatever, you don't have to keep them around. Just like they don't have to keep you around. That's the beauty of social media. But really, 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 I have a lot of people who are like, no one wants to follow me, and I put hashtags and stuff and they won't follow me. Well, how do you expect people to know who you are if you aren't willing to stick your neck out and show what it is that you've created? I think that's a really, really important thing, and not a lot of people do it. So taking the time to follow other like-minded people and let them see who you are is a really big deal. And there are lots of apps that you can download that are helpful in the follow and unfollow process if that's something you want to do in order to help you build your following. But I think that kind of mentality is a really important mentality across the board in the entertainment industry. I mean, outside of the entertainment industry too, right? Like, why is someone going to ask you out if they don't know you exist? There it is. But, if you have quality product that you're proud of, you have to put it out there and not be scared in order for someone to see it and take it seriously. Don't be scared to show who you are to other people. What's the worst case scenario? They don't follow you back. They don't like your pictures. They don't watch your videos that you've made. They don't give you the appointment. The world will go on. The world will go on. Like, that's just the truth. But if you don't take the time to put yourself out there, no one's going to know who you are, and it's not going to fall in your lap, and you're not going to get 1,000 followers overnight, and you're not going to get those appointments. So you have to do that. And, it sounds silly, but social media is kind of a great way to try that. If putting yourself out there is proving difficult, or if you're not wanting to go to not appointments, but if you're not wanting to go, would love to learn a little bit more about pilot season. Anything you wish performers knew about that casting process that might not be obvious. Great. So that was my little rant about putting yourself out there. Let's answer this question. Pilot season. It's here. So for those of you who maybe haven't done a lot of film and TV, pilot season is when the networks kind of pick the new shows that they want to produce for the next year, and they produce a pilot, which is the first episode, which then they will test and all of that jazz, and then some of them will be picked up to series and some of them won't. So we'll work on XYZ number of shows, and of those, I'm going to throw a number out, 18 shows, then a percentage of those will be picked up to series. So pilot season is crazy. There are a lot of parts that need to be filled, and not a whole lot of time. The whole thing takes place in at most it's around 2 months, 2.5 months of work, and that starts kind of now through the beginning of March. That's when pilot season is. Is there anything you wish performers knew about that casting process? What I wish performers knew is that punctuality and being open to times is so important. So what I do in that process most of the time is scheduling. I am the go-to scheduler for all of the appointments for Fox right now. That's my job. And I spend every day from the second I get to the office till sometimes 8 or 9 o'clock at night scheduling appointments. And when people don't show up on time or are difficult to schedule, it's a lot. It's tricky. And when we send out an appointment time, unless there's something really, really, really important that you have to do, take it. Take it and be excited about it and show up and do it. It's hard in New York. It's cold. It's wintry. It's blustery. It's snowy. I get it. I get it. But punctuality is really important, and being prepared is really important. Some actors are going to be auditioning for a bajillion pilots, and they've got a lot of scripts and they got a lot of stuff that they have to learn, but you really only get one chance to do what you do. So if you're being given the opportunity to audition for one of these big things, showing up and being as prepared as possible and being as flexible as possible with the scheduling process is just so nice. It's just so refreshing and so nice, and it's easy on your agents. Be nice to your agents, because it's their job is tricky too, trying to schedule all of you guys. So yeah, that's just one of the most important things to me personally, and I think to a lot of it takes a lot of work to schedule and do what we do, from taping everything and making sure all those tapes get to LA at night after all of you guys have left, editing things, scheduling everything. It's a lot of behind the scenes work that we try to make look effortless, but it's a lot. And so the most yes, I'm doing it, I'll be there that you can be, the most grateful we are. And bonus, if you come and you give a great performance, that's awesome. The casting process that may not be obvious. That's one of the things that's the least obvious, is I think people just don't understand how much time it takes to set everything up, to create everything, to make the experience as good for you guys as possible as possible. But another thing I think is there are. I think that's really, for me especially, the most not obvious. It's pretty much the same. It's just a lot more. Pilot season is auditioning on crack, because there's so many more projects and there's so many things to be aware of, and I know a lot of actors are doing a lot of different things and trying to go, but really it's the audition process. It's just the audition process from this to this all squished together. So you've just got to be really aware of your schedule, be really aware of your scripts, and just, again, really available. Being really available is really nice. If I get it, if you're doing promotion for a film and you got to do that, you got to do that. I will find a way to make that schedule work. That's what I get paid for, and I'm not complaining. I love my job. But if you can get back to your agent as quick as possible to confirm your appointment, so that I can confirm your appointment, it just makes the whole process a lot easier. And also, show up to the best of your abilities. You got, if you get an appointment for a pilot, you need to show up to play. You've got to look as good as you can, be as ready as you can. And if that means you need to show up 35 minutes before your appointment because it's snowing outside and you've got to re-blow dry your hair and reapply your face, then you need to know that and you need to do that. You've got to look. You get 5 minutes to look your best, to be your best, to do your best. And those 5 minutes are going to be the tape that we have. And so you need to know how best to schedule your time so that you are as prepared as possible for those 5 to 10 minutes that we get to work with you. My cat is ready. He's ready. He's ready for pilot season. So, I think pilot season for actors should really be about scheduling. And taking the time to really ensure you understand what your schedule is and how best to organize that and to take care of yourself in that time. You're going to be busy, you're going to be working, and you need to know how to present yourself the best way at all times. And that means confirming quickly, getting back to your agents, getting back to us, and showing up with enough time to make yourself feel as prepared as possible. Don't be scared. Don't be intimidated. It's just us. You guys see us all year long. It's not like it's, crazy. But you just jumped out of the frame. Bye. But it is fast. It is quick. It is, in, out, in, out. So if you can make that as scheduled and as ritualistic for you and as holistic for you as possible, I think that's a thing that is not quite so obvious, but really needs to be present because everything happens in such a short amount of time for that. So I hope that answered your question. I don't know if there are any follow-up questions for that. Just going to check my Tweeties real fast, make sure I didn't miss anything there. Oh, maybe I did. No, I didn't. Did that answer your question? Does anyone else have questions? Oh, I do have a notification. What is that? No, it was just Sweet Bill liking something. I think that probably answered your question. Something you wish you knew as an actor that you now know as a casting. Okay, so many things. Or in casting, yeah. Something that I really wish. Oh, you can see my fiance's little head in the mirror. Hi. He just got home from work. Something that I didn't know that I wish I did. I can only talk from my perspective, of course, and from my experiences. I wish that I knew genuinely in my heart that the people working in casting love this business and they love what they do, even as we grow in it and we maybe get more jaded and whatever. I mean, that happens in any field. You don't do this because you don't love it. You do it because you do love it, and you love actors and you love the process and the creative process. And we're all just big nerds. I mean, that's the real thing. I used to get so worked up as an actor that they're not gonna like me. Well, of course they're not gonna like you because you don't like you in those moments when you're not being your best self and being organic and being truthful. And, I heard people say that all the time of they want you to get the job. They really do. They want you to be the one. And I would hear it and be like, ugh, that's just someone saying it. Well, you know what? They're saying it because it's true. I get so jazzed when someone comes in and kills it. I get so jazzed when you leave the room, I'm like, oh, that was so amazing. That's the goal, genuinely. And we're all just big nerds. you got to remember, like, when people were playing with baseball cards, like, we were doing that with actors. Like, that's got to be our job, right? Like, we know actors' headshots and resumes, like, baseball stats, and, like, that's our job. We have to be nerds to do that. And so when you kind of put those people on that human level of, like, okay, well, these people show up every day, and they are giving, you know, a casting director, associate, assistant, the only thing that they're doing is providing opportunities for people to get jobs. That's our whole job, is providing opportunity. And when you kind of step back and realize, like, okay, everyone in the room is just as big a nerd as I am. No one here is out to get me. No one here is out to hurt me or tell me I'm bad or tell me I'm not enough. Like, it's just a big room full of nerds trying to get people jobs and trying to be creative. I really, really, really wish that I had internalized that concept more as an actor, because I think one of the things that really held me back as an actor was really giving a shit what other people thought, to the point where it created a really false face, a really false body, really false performance. There was not a lot of a genuine feel about my audition process. I was a terrible auditioner because I couldn't internalize this realization that it was an opportunity to create. And I get it, that's not something that happens overnight. It's not a realization that you can internalize, like, oh, Kate said that, so now I get it. But, like, the more you can work on that, and the more that you can realize that no one is out to get you, and everyone wants to just make art and get paid to make art, the more you can kind of internalize that. I wish I had known that, because, you know, it changes everything, and it allows you to be more free and give more interesting performance from your guts, because the first thing that shuts off when you go to a place of falsity is any connection to your guts. It's gone. You have no guts because you're not you, and so I really wish that I had known that. I heard someone say a few weeks ago, this might be your only opportunity to play that role, so enjoy it. Matt, that's such a great quote. It's true. I mean, you have to remember, if someone is bringing you into audition, they believe that you can do it. They genuinely believe that you can bring something to that role, or they wouldn't have given you the opportunity. And if you're going to an open call, you believe that you can do it, or you wouldn't give yourself that opportunity. So how wonderful that there's someone there with a piano to allow you to do that in front of an audience, right? Or that you have a script that you get to, you know, memorize and work on and craft and create for an audience, because that's what we are behind the table. We're just an audience. We want to cry. We want to laugh. We want to feel. We want to do all those things. And for me, that's like the most important realization I've had. The other, you know, really kind of important realization I've had is a lot of what goes into this industry is about who you are, not necessarily what you bring to the table, in terms of acting and choices. Not to say that's not a huge part of it, because of course it is, right? But people want to work with people who are interesting and grounded and bring something unique as a human being to the work. So the more present you can be in your point of view, I think the more hireable you are. And I used to get really caught up in trying to be what I thought was necessary, like what was this very like pristine and perfect thing that would be really hireable. I don't eat the cake, like don't do the things because you've got to look this perfect way and you've got to sound this perfect way and you've got to have this little sound bite that's perfect for everybody else. And the truth is, like, that's so boring. It's just so boring. People want to work with interesting people, and yeah, I mean, there's an aesthetic that people are going to need for certain things, and you might not fit that. There's a soundbite that certain people are going to wish that they had heard, and you didn't give it. But I just wish I had known the importance of, when you walk in the room, showing who you are genuinely and having a POV is only going to make you so much more hireable. And getting to that place takes work and takes living a life, right? That's the other thing, is I really wish I had known that traveling and meeting people outside of that. I mean, the best decision I ever made was moving to Indiana for 2 years because I met all sorts of different people that I never would have known, and it changed the entire way that I looked at myself. And when I came back, I wasn't working, I wasn't auditioning, and I just wonder what that would have looked like if I had done stuff like that more before I started trying to perform. And now I know that wasn't what I was supposed to be doing, and I have all sorts of other gifts that I want to use to help creative people. But there's that thing where you open that door to walk into the audition and you have this moment of like, here it is. I got to do it. I got to turn it on. I got to do it. And sitting behind the table when I watch the door open and I see that happen to a person, that kind of real moment, I want to walk up to them and shake them and say, no, you don't have to do that. It's just a big table of nerds, and we just want you to, just sing how great it is that our job is to sit here and schedule these things and get to watch people perform all day long. Just come play. Just have fun with us. Because those are the people that work, are the people that have fun. And I know that sounds trite, and I'm sure you've heard it before, but the more you can hear it and the more you can believe it, the better it's going to be for you, the more you're going to succeed. So we have about 3 minutes left. I have time for like one more question maybe. If not, I'm checking my Twitter real fast, making sure I didn't miss anything. All right. This is awesome. I am next time going to take Matt's advice and do it on Facebook, I think, do a Facebook live stream. But this was so great, you guys. There are 10 of you now, which is awesome. I hope this was helpful. I hope that, oh, hey, thanks. You rock too, Christina. I hope that this was worth it and worth your time. I really enjoyed it. I really can't wait to do this again next week. And I think you are all stars and all lovely people. And I'm so grateful that you joined us, me and my cat. I hope this was helpful. If it was, what are some of your favorite apps to manage your social? Okay. Before I go, my favorite app to manage my social is called Crowdfire, CROWDFIRE, all one word. It is the best app for managing Instagram, personally. I'm sure you know about Hootsuite, which is a great way to do all sorts of things for all of your social media. That is an investment, but it's a worthy investment. The Crowdfire app, yes, I organize my apps by color. The Crowdfire app is that center one. That's what that looks like. It's pretty great, I'm not gonna lie. Another app that I like to use if you are creating content for your thing and you need words, you need something to look pretty as like a logo maker, as words, I use this app. Let's see if you can see this. On the right, it's called Word Swag. All one word, Word Swag. It's a really helpful tool for creating words over images and things like that. The other thing that I use a lot in terms of managing my social media in order to organize everything is the good old Google Sheets. Creating a spreadsheet of all your things so you can keep everything in a running order, what you want to take pictures of, when you want to post things, just to have that as a touchstone is really, really, really helpful. Also, in terms of photo editing, my favorite photo editors, I have 2 of them. I use Afterlight, which is, the common one that everyone does, but it has the best photo editing things, in my opinion. So many ways to modify and make your pictures look good, especially if you're creating an aesthetic where everything is in the same color palette. That can be really helpful because you can program exactly what you want your pictures to look like in terms of like, this is the brightness, this is the contrast, these are the colors, and you can have a pre-program done with Afterlight, which is great. The other one that I also use that not a lot of people know about is this one called Photo Editor. You see that butterfly? That's what the logo looks like. And it's got a really great teeth whitener and blemish removal thing, which if that's helpful to you, I don't know. I get pimples. I have coffee teeth sometimes. So that's a really helpful tool. But mostly for managing, I use Crowdfire. I do the paid version so that I can create lists and I can schedule things that way. I think it's a really great app. And, if you have any more questions about social media or about anything specific like that, feel free to reach out with me. My website is kate-lumpkin.com. You can send me emails through that, set up any coachings that you might want to do, and that's it, guys. It is 7:01, so I'm going to sign off. I'm so grateful you all were here. Next week, I will be doing this on Facebook instead of on YouTube, so I look forward to seeing you there. If this was helpful to you at all, please feel free to send this link from this video to your friends, or to tweet or Insta or write on Facebook about office hours. I hope this was helpful. You guys were great. Those were some great questions. I can't believe it's been an hour. And I will see you guys next week, okay? I hope you have a good one. Bye.